What's going on, my fellow high-stim pre-workout enthusiasts? Hope you guys are having an incredible week. We are nearing high-stim Saturday, and this review here was actually a long time in the making because the product that I'm going to be reviewing today, this pre-workout that I'm sure at least 90% of you haven't heard of, I've actually been running this one for the past month or so. I've been sitting on this one for quite a while, and this is definitely one of those illicit bunker formulas that you guys are searching for, at least you stim junkies that watch High-Stim Ace on the regular. Now, I ran this one about 4 or 5 times already, so I'm really well acquainted with this product here, and I wanted to make sure that the experience was consistent throughout. So I've had this one for about a month, ran it about once a week. Today was my 4th or 5th time. I think it was the 4th time that I ran it today, and boy, is this one on a different level. I would go as far as to say that this one is definitely similar to Smash AMF, Excelsior, Kill Switch, Wildfire, and a lot of those other illicit types of products that have a little bit of the yum sprinkled in, a little bit off-label action. You guys know what I'm talking about. The pre-workout that I'm going to be reviewing today comes to us from the United Kingdom, from Cross the Limits, UK. And what I have here today, boys, is Odin. Yeah, guys, Odin pre-workout. I know that a lot of you haven't heard about this one because I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this one. If I'm being honest, I do frequent these subreddits a couple of times, and although I'm not that active on there anymore, I see threads being made regularly about new pre-workouts. I try to keep up with the latest rumor mill and see what's actually going on. I haven't seen anybody talking about this one. I think I saw like one post over the past couple of months discussing this one here. I forgot if the post was a review or if somebody was asking an opinion, but let me tell you guys, this one here is definitely special. So without further ado, let's roll that freaking intro, and when we get back, we're gonna discuss Odin pre-workout from Viking Labz. Alright guys, so looking at this product here, it's actually a really badass looking tub, very unique, and honestly, me showing you this on video doesn't do it justice. It's got a nice holographic finish. It says Odin in the middle, and the O actually has a bunch of inscriptions in here. It looks like some Viking runes. It's really cool. You got a Loki lookalike looking Viking over here, and yeah, man, he's got the helmet, he's got the beard, the armor, everything. It's really, really cool. It has a little bit of a low-budget feel to it. This definitely doesn't look like one of these modern tubs that, you know, have all these crazy graphics on there and flashy letterings and whatnot. It doesn't have any of that, but there's still something about this aesthetic that I really like. It looks like something you would pick up at a local shop, and you know, something that you would get from like underneath the counter. You're asking the person working there, can you recommend me something that's not on the shelf, something that's special that I can take on those special types of days like High-Stim Saturday, like High-Stim Sunday. This one here definitely gives me that vibe. So we're going to break down the label. I'm going to tell you what I think, and the flavor, we're going to start off with the flavor. This here is the Blood Moon flavor. I don't know if they have any other flavors. This is the flavor they sent me for review, and like I said, I've been running this one for about a month or so, 4 times, I do believe. So the flavor, it's interesting because I think this is trying to be a blood orange flavor, and upon smelling it, first of all, the powder itself, it has like a bit of a clumpiness to it. Not the type of clumpiness that, you know, bricks up or anything, but it definitely has a very interesting texture, very reminiscent to Smash AMF. Okay, so if you guys ever had Smash AMF, you know that the powder, it's like semi-clumpy. It's got like maybe 10 or 15% clumpiness, and it's filled all the way to the brim. This one here, boys, when I opened it, was full to the brim. So definitely reminiscent to Smash AMF right off the bat. Now, speaking of Smash AMF, if you guys ever had those original Smash batches, especially the Tiger's Blood flavor, you know there's a certain type of scent that accompanies it, and it also does translate to the flavor. It's more than just your typical bitterness and synthetic aftertaste. There's a special unique characteristic that Smash AMF has, and this here has the same characteristic. Inhaling this one here, I'm telling you guys, the first thing I thought of when I opened this one about a month ago, the first thing I thought of, I'm like, is this Smash AMF repackaged? Because it literally smells just like Smash AMF. And who knows, For all we know, it could be the same manufacturer, just made somewhere else. You never know with these companies, with these bunker basement types of formulas, but that's why we love it, and that's why we love this freaking industry. It's always questions and guessing what's what, but when I tell you that this one here is freaking special, you know that high stim ace isn't blowing smoke. So the flavor, the Blood Moon, it literally tastes like Smash AMF Tiger's Blood, which by the way was a nasty flavor, but it tastes a little bit different. It tastes like 80% of that Tiger's Blood flavor mixed with like 20% orange juice. That's what it tastes like, so I'm guessing they're going for a blood orange, but it's kind of nasty. You're just gonna have to shoot it down and deal with the effects later. And speaking of the effects, guys, let's go over this label. So looking at the supplement facts here, the serving size is 1 scoop. No 1 scoop, 2 scoop, half dose, full dose, none of that, guys. 1 scoop is the full dose, and 1 scoop is supposed to come in at 15 grams, giving you 25 servings per container, which is very respectable in 2025. Now here's the kicker. I don't know if this was a joke. I don't know if this was a mistake, an error, whatever. The scooper is supposed to be 15 grams, right? Check this out, guys. This is literally the scooper that came with it. I don't know if it translates to the video, but this thing is tiny. This thing fills, you know how much? 2 grams, okay? You're getting 2 grams on this scoop, so you're gonna have to take like, I don't know, like seven and a half scoops of this to get the 15-gram dose. So I'm assuming that was a mistake. I'm assuming that was a screw up, or maybe not. Who the hell knows? Maybe this stuff is so potent that only 2 grams is going to get you flying to the moon. You never know, but I remember when I first opened this one up, I was laughing my ass off because I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a freaking joke, and I was digging deeper into the tub to see if there was anything else there, and there wasn't. So, I don't know. Either way, I found it very entertaining. Worst case scenario, guys, take a freaking spoon, get the 15-gram dose, weigh it out on a digital kitchen scale, because this little thing, this little baby here is definitely not going to give you 15 grams. So now that we got the scooper out of the way, let's talk about the label. And we are getting citrulline malic 2-to-1 ratio at 5,000 milligrams. So not such a crazy citrulline dose, which I like because this gives you the bare bones pumps, and you can stack your own pumps on top of this one, whether it's a nitric oxide providing capsule, whether it's extra L-citrulline, whether you want to put a little bit of glycerol. This is very versatile and definitely stackable with your favorite pump formula. We're getting beta-alanine at the clinical 3,200 milligrams, agmatine sulfate at 1,000 milligrams for more pumps, L-tyrosine 1,000 milligrams for focus, alpha-GBC 50% yield 500 milligrams, beta-phenylethylamine 500 milligrams. So that's going to give you a nice floaty head high a couple of minutes into the experience. And we're going to talk about that, guys. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to the effects section. We got caffeine anhydrous at 400 milligrams, beautiful dose. If the stims in here are legitimate, then 400 milligrams is more than enough to get you going in the gym. And phenyldimethylamine citrate, 300 milligrams. That is also known as a riogenesis to the common man. That's going to get you buzzing. That's going to get you feeling good and happy in the gym. And this one here may have some of the best source to raya. We're going to talk about it really soon, guys. We're going to get to everything in this review. We have 2-amino isoheptane, 200 milligrams. Is that the synthetic lab-made yum-yums that we know and love? Or is this the UK Juglans Regia version that we do not care for as much? I will let you know when we get to the effect section. Theobromine, 175 milligrams for smooth stimulation. 1,3-DMAA geranium HCl. They are claiming DMAA in 2025. And this is from the UK, okay? I know they're a little bit stricter on that stuff over there, so they're pretty ballsy putting this on the label. We know that labels are just labels in the end of the day, but I mean, these guys are pretty ballsy putting it out there. That's pretty crazy. They're claiming 125 milligrams of DMAA. Holy crap. We got isopropylsynephrine HCl 30 milligrams for sweating and thermogenesis. And lastly, as if this label wasn't crazy enough, we got 1 milligram of alpha-yol for additional stimulation. Before High Stim Ace breaks down my experience running the Odin pre-workout over the past month, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a fitness enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Alright guys, so like I said, I've been sitting on this product here for about a month, and I did want to run this one a couple of times to really get a feel of it, because when it comes to these bunker formulas, a lot of times they're hit or miss, and not only that, a lot of times if you're taking it that first time, it might hit you in a crazy way, and then if you're running it again a week and a half later, it's going to hit at like 50%. Maybe it's not even going to hit at all. A lot of times these products are inconsistent, so I always make sure to mix everything up, especially when the powder is like a little bit clumpy. There's a little bit of humidity in there, so you want to make sure you mix everything up to get the efficacious dosage. And I use that term so loosely because you don't know what the hell is in here. Listen, there's definitely no DMAA in here. There might be DMHA, but no, there is no DMAA. It's not that I don't think there's DMAA. I'm telling you there is no DMAA. Now, this feels different than your typical DMHA pre-workout. I've ran my share of DMHA pre-workouts. You guys know that Heist the Mace loves me some good DMHA, and I've reviewed a couple recently, and I got a couple more I'm going to be reviewing soon. I've been running a lot of crazy stuff for the past month and a half, but you guys know I like running things like 2 or 3 times before coming on here and dropping my review. I want to make sure there's a consistency when it comes to these products, because I know you guys are spending your hard-earned dollars on these products here, and I never want to lead you astray. So for the most part, the label does match up with the experience. It definitely feels like around 350, 400 milligrams of caffeine. There's sweating on here, so I do assume that the isopropyl synephrine's in here. You are getting beta-alanine tingles that do last about 30 minutes or so. That doesn't come in until about the 15-minute mark. Actually, nothing really happens until about the 15-minute mark, but 20 minutes in and onwards, it is a complete dialed-in tunnel vision focus. And I'm talking about being a horse with blinders on and not being able to stray right or left. You are looking straight ahead. You are zoned in. You are dialed in. You are in a euphoric tunnel. And this isn't the kind of euphoria where you're dancing with the music. This isn't like a happy type of euphoric pre-workout. This is very, very similar to Smash AMF, that original batch, and even the newer batches, because Smash AMF has been a very consistent pre-workout. I did review it about a year after reviewing the initial product, and it was still almost just as good. So this one here definitely feels like Smash AMF in terms of the dialed in tunnel vision focus. However, this is a smoother experience. There isn't any niacin flush on here. There's no prickling on your body. There isn't an over-the-top heart rate. Maybe like 20 minutes in, when this thing starts building up, there is going to be a bit of an elevated heart rate, but that's only there for like 5-10 minutes. When you're transitioning to being in normal mode to being in hopped up, I'm high as heck mode, because this thing definitely feels like there's something off of label that's added to this. Think of that first batch of Juiced, where it definitely felt like it was spiked with something, and then comparing that to like a Kill Switch. I know not everybody vibed with Kill Switch, but for me personally, that thing is a special product. I'm still on my first tub, by the way. I haven't tried any of the other later versions that came out. I still have that original Muscle Factory tub, but man, that thing hits every freaking time. Now, I'm not going to compare this product here to Excelsior, because Excelsior is special, but this definitely feels like something more than DMHA. There's some sort of analog in here that really dials in that focus, but it's not just the focus. It's the focus combined with endless endurance. So the first, like I said, 20 minutes, it starts building, the energy comes in, that illicit, dialed-in tunnel vision focus comes in, and it's going to be a very mental type of experience. This isn't going to give you like this insane burst of energy right off the bat. It's going to be very mental. It's definitely going to put you in the mood to lift, and you have to do a little bit of initial work, maybe 5-10 minutes of build-up initial work to get in that headspace. But once you're in that mode, once you're in that push, let's go, let's pump some iron, let's get shit done. Once you're in that mode, you're not going to want to leave the gym. This is one of those products you take on Heist Saturday, Heist Sunday, where you know you're going to be in there for a minimum of 2 hours, because you're not going to want to leave the gym. You're going to want to keep pumping and pumping and pumping. There is endless endurance that comes with this one. I was taking minimal rest sets. I was sweating. The heart rate was up a little bit, but the mood elevation and the dialed in focus, you're in a bubble. You're ignoring all the outside noise and distractions, even if the gym is full of a lot of people, which now in the summertime, it is starting to get really, really full pretty much at any point of the day for me. But you tune out everything. You're there with your music. You're vibing, but it's illicit. It's underground. This isn't like a happy DMHA buzz, you know, like the Crack Primal I reviewed recently. That gave you like a very mood-elevating, happy type of buzz, but it was a DMHA buzz. I knew what I was taking. This feels like there's something off-label, okay? So I don't know what it is. I don't know if the Viking manufacturer sprinkled a little bit of extra in there, a little bit of a focus analog, but it feels a lot like Smash AMF, but a little bit smoother without the crazy side effects. Now, I know certain people are very sensitive to these kinds of ingredients, so I'm going to tell you right off the bat, my best way to run this one here is to combine it with either like 5 or 6 grams of L-citrulline to kind of help with the blood flow a little bit, to smoothen out the experience, or better yet, combine it with a nitric oxide support capsule or powder. So if you have something like a, where is it? Got it here somewhere. Yeah, if you have something like a Blood Sport from Apollo Nutrition, this is the new formula, which I will be reviewing really soon, by the way, but this one here gives you a crap ton of citrulline, a crap ton of nitric oxide supporting ingredients, right? So you're getting some vasodrive in here and arginine nitrate, NO3T. What that does is going to help with the blood flow. So whatever vasoconstriction you would get from the secret ingredient that's in here, and I'm sure there is a secret ingredient in here, the blood sport or whatever else you want to take, whether it's a Sicario, anything like that, it's going to help offset it a little bit and create a nice smooth experience. The first 2 times I ran this, I ran it on its own, did not stack anything with it, and I had no issues. It wasn't like when I ran Smash and I was tweaking for a little bit and I was in my own little bubble, or when I was doing juice for the first time and like, you know, I was high as a kite, but my heart rate was up and I was sweating and it was a little intense. This isn't an overly intense experience. This is much smoother. This is Smash AMF at like 70-75%, but the focus is so good and there's an endless endurance. You're gonna do set after set after set and you're not gonna take any freaking breaks in between. It does make you thirsty though, okay? You're gonna be drinking a lot of water while you're on this one. My tongue is still parched and I took this one like 3.5 hours ago. And yeah, you're gonna wanna drink a lot of water, maybe add a little bit of electrolytes in there, a nice hydration formula, because this one's definitely gonna have you thirsty. There is a little bit of shrinkage that come with it, a little bit of delayed urination, not full on Stimmy Willy, but probably like a 7.5 out of 10 on the Stimmy Willy scale. Okay, so not like the craziest case, but it leads me to believe that there is probably a little bit of DME chain here, or who the hell knows, guys? You never know. This is the wild, wild west after all, but that's why you have people like HiStimace coming on here to tell you what's up. Now, you guys can grab this one here. As far as I know, it's only available at crossthelimits.co.uk, and you guys can use discount code ACE5 at checkout, which will save you not 5, but 6% off your entire order and help support the HiStimace YouTube channel. Cross the Limits also has a lot of products from the United States. I know a lot of people in Europe order from Cross the Limits because they do have access to a lot of these companies such as Kilo Labs and Ninja and a lot of other companies that in the UK you're not really able to get that stuff so easily. So to my EU brethren, to my UK brethren, crossthelimits.co.uk, discount code ACE5 to save 6% off your entire order. But you guys are going to want to grab this one. You stim junkies that are looking for the next juice, the next Smash AMF, the next kill switch, this one here is definitely on that level. Wouldn't put it quite up there with Excelsior, but it's maybe 1.5 notches or 2 notches below. I like it a lot. It's really, really good. It's illicit as heck, and you're going to be riding out a nice, relaxing buzz after your workout. I pumped for over 2 hours today, and I am feeling super, super relaxed right now. Gonna go take a shower and enjoy the rest of my night. So if you guys enjoyed this review, once again, don't forget to like the video. It greatly helps the algorithm. Comment below. Let me know if you've ever even heard of this pre-workout, because I know a lot of people haven't even heard of this. So let me know if you've heard of the Odin pre-workout. Let me know what you think. I love hearing from you guys, and I do hope you have a happy HiStim Saturday. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at HiStimAce, and I will see you all next time for the next HiStim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. HiStim Ace, signing off.